Thanks to the supporters of channel member and Chipman. Well, I think it's safe to say at this point we've assembled the greatest squad of players in the history of the Premier League. Now we just have to win everything this season. Simple, really. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first couple of games of the season with our new Manchester United squad. We're going to get to know the new boys, and then we're going to play an early title decider away against Arsenal. It's arguably our most difficult game of the season away against Arsenal. It's coming up second, so we need a big win against Leicester first to make sure that the new boys are nicely settled in. I mean, we have got good team cohesion despite spending an enormous amount of money again in the summer. I mean, to be fair, officially this season we're running at a massive transfer profit, but that's more to do with the fact that the dates don't work right. They never have. Football Manager's weird on that kind of thing. Imagine if that's one of the new features of FM25, the dates working right. We'd all love that, I'm sure. But the media are very happy with how we're looking. They have us as strong favourites to win the league. We've got a lot of our boys in the Dream 11, Canizares, Aketse, Garnacho, Ireland, Ilunga. We actually had more than that at one point last season. So we've lost a star. Manchester City also with 4. Arsenal with a couple in there as well. I say also with 4, we've got 5. So we are still the best. Let's go win some football matches. This is the team for the game against Leicester. And I think I mentioned at the end of the transfer episode that I didn't want to bring in all the new signings all in one go. It's very much a new look defence. So we're trying to keep the attacking areas a little bit more what we're used to. So we've got new boy Canizares in goal, a back four of Aketse, debut for Burrows and Boras, Everton Antonio at right back, and then another debut for Bajacic. People did try and explain. There was like 5 different ways to pronounce it that people said in the comments. I'm just gonna call him Steve. He's just Steve. So Steve at the base of the midfield. Then Mainu and Ireland ahead of him. Lacey and Garnacho out wide, and Ilunga up front. Leicester are a team we should be winning 15-0 against. But of course, we are testing out a new defence, which is going to be their one and only league game playing together before they have to come up against arguably the best attack in the Premier League outside of ours. I guess Manchester City would have an argument about that with Erling Haaland, but Arsenal have got Saka, and either way, we need a defence that's actually functioning before we face them. Shea Lacey's picked up an injury early on here, so I think we're going to have to take him off because he has hurt his little leg. So he can come off, and it means we get a first look at Endrick on that left-hand side. So much for keeping the front 5 as players who were already at the club. And here's Endrick. We've already seen Lacey have a free kick from here and miss. Endrick's having a go at one. Is he going to introduce himself as a hero to the Manchester United fans? It's Endrick from the edge of the area. Goodness me, he's taking the time, letting himself have an introduction. And there is Endrick's introduction. Manchester United 1, Leicester 0. Endrick has his first goal for the club, and I suspect he's going to go on to be seen as quite a good signing for this football club. Wasn't really getting the opportunity to perform at Real Madrid. Hasn't played a huge amount for Brazil either as a result. But at 25, he is ready to be a superstar, and we're going to give him the platform to allow him to do that. I mean, obviously, great competition for places here, just like he's got with Real Madrid and Brazil. So he still needs to perform, but scoring 10 minutes into his debut, although really with him, it was like 3 minutes into his debut. He'd barely come onto the pitch and has already done a football goal. Leicester now down to 10 men as well. And once again, we're demonstrating that we're set piece FC. We've scored from a free kick. We're now trying from a long throw. Oh, goodness me. When are we going to get a highlight from open play? We just don't get them anymore. Highlights from open play are for cowards. And it's not even that I've got loads of fancy set piece instructions on. It's more the fact that we've got a lot of players who are very good at set pieces. We've got a lot of very, very big boys. So the corners, the long throws are always going to be big goal threats. As you've seen there, Levi Burrows, he's 6'6". You're going to see a lot of that this season. But that wasn't the meta in-swinger corner. That's an outswinger. So again, we're not cheesing this. We've just got 5 6'6" players knocking around. So we're going to score from corners. Obviously we are. But also we've got a lot of players with good set-piece delivery. We saw Hendrick score a direct free kick. We've just seen a beautiful corner there from Ireland. And yeah, we're going to be good at all different flavours of set piece. And there we are again, Ireland with the set piece delivery, looking for Ilunga, doesn't find him, but Mainu is there to pick up the scraps and plays it off to Steve. Everton, Antonio, Ilunga, Ireland, trying to make it 3, and we've won ourselves another corner. Leicester are struggling, down to 10 men, haven't had a shot yet, can't get out of their half. We are sending a message to the Premier League today. There's another of our enormous defenders. So we've already had Burrows score one. Now we've got Boras trying to get on the end of one. I'm not even sure who we're aiming at there. It looks like they're both kind of lurking at the near post. My set piece coach does all of that stuff for me, again, to prevent me from cheesing it. And clearly, he is loving having these two big boys knocking around the place. What a first half that has been. Goodness me. Right, just keep doing what you're doing, boys. We could do with a couple more goals. We'd like a goal from Ilunga. We just want some confidence-boosting stuff. We're playing Arsenal next. We know Arsenal are good, although they're not winning. Spurs are 5-0 up in their game. Arsenal 1-1 away against Ipswich currently, so maybe Arsenal are broken. That would be ideal. One less team to compete with. Garnacho does well to get the cross in. He was under a lot of pressure there, but steps around his man, gets the cross in, and it falls to Ireland, who shoots from the edge of the area. But I think he's hit the outside of the post there, and it's ended up going wide. Can we do a goal, please? I'm a little bit not worried, because obviously we're going to win the game, but we're not being very clinical, are we? We're doing a lot of that, a lot of missing chances. We've had 14 shots on target. We've got an XG of 2.87, and we've only actually scored twice from a direct free kick and a header from a corner. It's like watching Arsenal in real life. Right. Ilunga, not having the best of days. Naizinho is going to come on, who we signed last summer. He is a legitimate Brazilian wonder kid, has made his Brazil debut now, was great for Sunderland in the Championship second half of last season, and is one of the reasons why we were able to let Samu go. We're also going to take off Aketsi, who's picked up a yellow card, so Ayala can come on for him, and we'll have a look at Naizinho. I mean, there's an argument we could have put Hendrick up front there, but Hendrick's playing, he's been one of our better attacking players from out wide. So get Naizinho on in his natural position, give him the best opportunity to establish himself as first reserve to Ilunga. I mean, it's a big ask. We've obviously got a lot of options there. We've spent a lot of money on Heilbronn this summer, but Naizinho is the man in possession at the moment, off the back of scoring all those goals for Sunderland. And he's taken the corners as well, tries to find Steve, and it falls to Naizinho. Burrows from the edge of the area. Everton, Antonio now. He shoots, he scores. What a goal from Everton, Antonio. He has kicked that ball quite hard, and it's ended up going through the goalkeeper's hands and into the top of the net, and it's 4-0 now, and this is a little bit more like it. This is a bit more like what we were expecting, although with them being down to 10 men for most of the match, I still think getting to 6 is probably the most appropriate thing to send a message to the Premier League. Spurs 5-0 up in their game. We at least need to outdo Spurs and make sure we're top of the Premier League at the end of the day. We're going to take off Ireland. Sudakov, who is now a permanent Manchester United player, can come on. And for my final change, I think I want to get Gavi on. So Gavi can come on for Steve at the base of the midfield, and it's a debut for him as well. What a good squad we've got. We've made 5 substitutions there, and if anything, strengthened the team with most of them. And now we've got another long throw. 5 minutes of normal time left. It's Garnacho to Boras. Garnacho now with the cross, looking for Naizinho. He gets his header onto it, but can't direct it past the goalkeeper. Didn't really have any oomph to the header. If that's his idea of being a centre forward, maybe he's not going to be the man for us in that position. But Boras plays it across to Burrows. Lovely to be hooking back up with Levi Burrows again. I felt like I didn't have enough time with him at Coventry. He got both the Coventry signings, got a little bit of heat in the comments over the weekend. All I can say is you people have no hearts. We want some of our boys from Coventry to be part of this all-conquering Manchester United team. We're going to force it to happen. Hendrick has his second debut goal. It is now 5-0. And that was actually a goal from open play as well. Look at us doing goals from open play like a proper footballing team. But Endrick already looking like a good signing. Arsenal have just gone ahead against Ipswich, so they're probably going to be coming into that match against us with 3 points already on the board as well. But if we could have one more just to make sure we're top of the table, that'd be super. We don't want to let Spurs be top of the league. That's a ridiculous situation to allow to happen. But it is Leicester taking the ball into our half at the moment, which is something they haven't really done at any other point today. Nizinho kind of chasing around like a bit of a headless chicken up front. He'll be fine. We've got plenty of other options. He might end up playing out wide eventually. He was playing, I did look, Sunderland were playing a 4-4-2 last year, and he was playing as the deeper lying of a front two. Which we're never going to have him doing unless he's doing it coming off the bench when we're chasing a game. But I can't imagine he's the player we turn to when we're chasing a game, certainly in his current state. Right, here's our chance to go ahead of Tottenham. Nizinho with the cross. Burrows is there again, but his header onto the top of the net, and I think that's probably that. At 5-0, what a dominant performance. If we do that again against Arsenal, we're going to have the league wrapped up by Christmas. Well, this is unexpected. A big offer for Mainu, and he actually wants to go. Is it Mainu or Mainu? Am I saying his name wrong again? It might be for the best if I sell him. The only thing we've got to bear in mind is Champions League registration, which I still don't think we can do. It's so annoying. You always used to be able to, unlike FM22, you could do your Champions League registration as like a mock registration at any time. It's so stupid that you can't. Why would they take that out? That's a ridiculous thing to take out. Right, homegrown status. We're trying to work out if we've got to keep him. We've got Team Rocket. Pilbro's out on loan. Let's get him out the first team squad so I don't remember he exists. Shea Lacey is homegrown at club. Mainu, Garnacho. Ayala is homegrown at club. Well, then we're officially never selling him. And then we've got Burrows, Steve, Ireland, and Gibbons as trained in nation. So we could sell Mainu and be fine for Champions League registration. I'm not desperate to sell him, but at the same time, he's our 4th choice there, 5th choice there, 10th choice there. He is well down the pecking order. We've got Gavi, who sat on the bench in the last game. We've got Sudakov sat on the bench in the last game. We don't really need Mainu. Let's try and agree a big price for him, though. 77 million. I want, like, if you would get like 85, 90 million for him, I think that's a jolly good price. I mean, that offer is 81 million. That's a very good offer. We'll reject it, but if they come in with a better one, I'm not going to be upset if he goes. We've still got money to spend, haven't we? We don't need to spend it, but we could even replace him if we had to. Well, no sign of Barcelona coming back in for Mainu. They don't even want him anymore, so I guess we scared them off with that extra £4 million. Despite the comfortable win against Leicester, we are going back to what I think, at the moment at least, is our strongest 11 for the game against Arsenal. I think we have to. So it's Cannizzaro's in goal. A back four of Iketsi, Memishi, Scalvini and Everton Antonio. Steve at the base of the midfield with Larson and Ireland ahead of him. Garnacho on the left. New boy Bruno Moniz coming back in on the right. And Ilunga up front, if you're not familiar with Bruno Moniz yet. He played in the Community Shield and didn't have the best of times. But goodness me, he is going to be the best player in the world. He's already pretty close at 19 years old. So today could be his star-making Premier League debut. I mean, it is his Premier League debut. This is how you announce yourself on the Premier League in style against one of the best teams in the league for the last 5 years. And just step in and ruin this guy's day. Piero Hincapié. Ruin his day. Absolutely make that boy cry. Turn them inside out. The problem is he was very, very quiet in the Community Shield against Manchester City, and it might be that he needs a little bit of time to settle in, might need to learn the language, might need to bulk himself up a little bit for that Premier League physicality after only playing in Portugal for the last year or two. But hopefully all of that's nonsense and he just looks like a star immediately, because that's what we want from him. He's been described in the comments as a Cristiano Ronaldo regen, and if that's what we've got, goodness me, am I going to be excited about it. Not that I ever managed to get a performance out of Cristiano Ronaldo the few times I've managed him in FM. Him and Messi, never got a good game out of either of them. They're not Kev players. Ronaldo should be as well. He's a big meaty boy. He should absolutely be. I can understand why I can't get a tune out of Messi. Yeah, I would take one look at him and bin him off if I joined a club and there was just this guy with all of his attributes. You know, I'm not going to care. I'm going to look at how big he is and be like, no, thank you. Get out of here. But Ronaldo's like 6'2", isn't he? As in normal height, my height. So should have been a guy that I could have got a performance out of. How tall is Muniz? I think he's 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot. He's 20 now as well. Goodness me. Time for him to put on a show. It's still 0-0. To be honest, a 0-0 draw will be fine. This early in the season, we haven't really got any of the new boys. Steve and Muniz are the only of the new, and Canizares, I guess. So 3 new boys in, although you don't really count goalkeeper. And Steve's just a straight swap for... what's his face? It was Agate, who was there before. But this is Muniz. This could be his moment. Muniz, no. Well, that would have been nice. Maybe we should have Endrick on. Endrick scored 2 goals in the last game, and that wasn't enough to get into the front three for today. He's probably looking at those ratings and questioning everything. Muniz shooting from range again, and once again, it's not quite as good as what we saw from Endrick in the previous match. And I think it might be time to wheel Endrick out. Garnacho's having a terrible time. Van der Winden can come on for him. Endrick's going to come on for Muniz. And we might change the whole front three. We don't have another striker to bring on. Well, we can put Levi Burrows on the wing. We're not going to do that. We could put Ireland out onto the wing, though, and put Van der Winden up front. That's what we'll do. And then we can get Sudakov on in midfield and try that as a front three combination, because the 3 that were on there weren't having any joy at all. Saliba taking the throw-ins for Arsenal is an interesting one. You can see he is the captain in the future, but taking the throw-in. Steve releases Endrick. Endrick goes past his man with ease. Endrick, oh my word, Endrick is quite good. Oh, goodness me. He just danced around that fullback, the one that Muniz was supposed to be ruining. Endrick just turned inside out. I think we've got a star that he's only 25. We've got a star. Who knew that Endrick was quite good in Football Manager? Right, Ireland is now tired, so Gavi is now going to come on and play on the left wing, which is not really a position for him. In fact, he's not. We're going to shuffle over. Can we put Sudakov out there? We can. So what we're actually going to do is bring on Mainu. Gavi's going to go in there. And then we're going to do that. Sudakov's going to go out there. Larson was signed to be the Mazzala. And then we brought Ireland in on top of him. Odegaard pulls a good save out of Canizares. And I wonder if they were in the Real Madrid B team together all those years ago. They might have been. They might be buddies. It's a good save from Canizares. And Larson heads clear. And it looks like we are heading towards that 0-0. I mean, our front 3 didn't play very well. But to be fair, neither is that front 4 of Arsenal. We've managed to keep a very good front 4 for Arsenal very quiet. And this is where we probably needed Levi Burrows to be the difference maker at a set piece. Gavi do it. That's what Gavi's here for. Coming across, covering, releasing Sudakov. And now we've got Van der Winden in the middle. We've got Endrick in the middle. And we force a good save out of Bazunu in goal. And now Mainu shoots and scores and presumably runs off, kisses the badge. I never wanted to go to Barcelona. I'm Manchester United through and through. And in the 94th minute, it's Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, thanks to Kobe Mainu. I'll never learn his name. I'll struggle with it his entire career. But that'll do. We're going to win the league again. I mean, we won it last year, but this year we're going to win it with ease, because we've cruised past Arsenal there. Right. I think we probably have an appointment with the Champions League now for the next episode, although I'm looking ahead at fixtures. Liverpool and Man City back-to-back is an interesting one, but before then we'll have transfer deadline day. We'll have Champions League fixtures come out. There'll be some kind of shenanigans for us tomorrow, and I can't wait because this team is already looking very, very good. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.